Here, last class we have seen grammar, right? The basic for communication. Okay, we shall see the one more important thing here, which is a very essential for language. Not only in English language, for every language, it's a very important thing we must know. Let's see what are that. See, everyone knows, right? From birth child to an old man, everyone are learning. Everyone are learning. Tell me how they are learning. They are learning. Everyone. If there is a man who are illiterate or who don't know anything, right? Even man who are living in jungle places or other places, right? Any country, any place, everyone are learning. Tell me how. See, for learning, we think that education, right? For your kind info, not only education or learning, right? Learning is the incidents, the days which we are passing. Every second are learning, right? Even illiterate are learning, right? Through first thing, L. What is L? Language. How language comes, how language creates, how language will learn. Everyone have their own language, even I, you, right? Everyone has their one language that is called mother tongue. Tell me, why did everyone says mother tongue? Right? Why did it says everyone mother tongue? In grammar, I said amma. For that, that is the grammar. That's the base for language. Okay. There also the mother stands amma. Right? Here, the language mothers. Who is the language mothers? Their grammar here. The mother of language, mother tongue here, we are discussing here, mother tongue. The language mother which we have seen, grammar, either mother, here, mother tongue, that's mother tongue. Why did we say mother tongue? Everyone, every region, every place have their language, different languages in different states, the state language, the national language, international language, every places, the place to place, there is a fixed set of language, a set of language, right? Here, the language, why did we say mother tongue? Right? I learn Urdu because my mother speak Urdu. You learn Tamil because your mothers are speaking in Tamil language, right? Obviously, father also, right? Every father also have language, right? Why don't we say father's language? Why don't we say father's language? Okay, let's come to the point. Why did we say mother tongue? Because before the birth, right? Before the birth, when we are our mother womb, right? Inside the stomach, right? I don't know exactly, I'm not a biological student, huh? Right? Because approximately 4th or 5th month during the pregnancy, the listening capacity stands. The baby which is in the stomach are listening carefully. That's why we said mother tongue, because we are listening from pre-birth. Before the birth, we are listening when we are in the mother womb. Right? That's why we say mother tongue. Usually say everyone or have language, right? Illiterate, educated, graduates, right? The school dropouts, everyone language, right? Like that. Mother, before the birth, we listen. That's why we say mother tongue, right? Okay, clear? See, mother tongue, we come to mother tongue, right? Then language. How did we learn language? We learn language through our mother. Yes, obviously fathers too, but most of the time we spend during the child with mother. And mother tongue, we shall see one thing, mother is not like other, right? See, where we start learning from the stomach of our mother, right? We are listening, the listening capacity starts, right? What we listen, that is our mother tongue, right? Her activities, mother's activities also are being, right? Slowly, gradually, it will come with us. Without knowing us, we are learning, we are listening, right? Here, the listening is the most important thing, right? With that communication, how did we communicate? How did we communicate? We must know that. Without knowing that, how can we? See, first communication. The communication means communicate, to speak something, something which we have the information passed from the sender, right? Something in your mind. I am stand before you because I would like to convey some message to you, right? Right? Here the message is called that, which through communication we can send, right? We are sending messages, right? Through language, through the help of language, right? Okay, come to the point here. Communication we come to know, right? Listening. Before the listening, if we listen keenly, everything can learn, right? One thing we come to know, if we listen, we can communicate, right? Okay, here LSRW, which is stand for here in communication, English for communication, the 4 pillars of every language, right? 4 pillars of every language. LSR stands for listening, and the next one, second one, speaking, the third one, reading, and the next one, writing. Here there are 4 pillars of language in every language, right? Not only in English. SM, LSRW, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. See how it's work, right? How it's work. First, here stands, if we listen carefully, we can speak, right? If we speak, we can read, right? We can read. If we read, we can easily write, right? This is the 4th thing. Everything is, say, the joint, right? 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 to 4, right? Everyone is a chain link between these 4, right? See, listening. Listen carefully. Here there are 2 things in listening: hearing and listening. Hearing and listening. Hearing as just we hear, right? What the lectures are going on. Well, like that, we just hear the things, right? If compared to listening, listening, it's a concrete noun because we have to use I, mine, right? Everything focused on what speaker speaks, right? In seminar, right, workshop, we have to listen what is the paper, what is the title which is describe the writer, right? He writes, right, in papers. We listen, then only we can come to know what the speaker said, right? Listening is different, hearing is different. Okay, listening, speaking. If we listen carefully, we can easily speak. If we speak, we can read, and if we read, we can write. Right? This is a fourth thing. Not only English language, in every language we have to listen. Right? We are immediately after the final year, we have to do two things, right? Actually, we have to go for job, right? Two things we have to do. What? If we are smart, right, we are finding a institution where language, right, for language, especially for language, we are choosing that institute. We refine our language and search for job. The other one who go for job because he has poor language, right? It's not capable for his degree. As just he want money, right? Because the issues, personal issues, suddenly he go for any job which is not suitable for his degree, right? This is the two things here. Because the thing will not come actually if we listen carefully in classes. Mostly every degree I have seen language class just as they are thinking, but if he fails to attend language class with a full-fledged of listening, his degree is waste, right? He has to spend for 6 more months, he have to spend money, everything for learn, right? Actual, the real learning of degrees and language class, foundation English, especially English, because nowadays everywhere if he speak well, that the person have a different age, right? It's for money, right? Money minded people everywhere. Here language decide your salary, right? Okay, come to the point. LSRW, if we listen carefully, we can speak like that every language, right? Here come to the point where we listen. Here the listening is started pre-birth, right? Before the birth we are started listening, so we can, that's why we say the mother tongue, right? Because the mother what speaks, right? We are keep on listening from our mother, right? From before birth. That's why the listening capacity starts, but we are failed to listen. We just hear, not listen, right? There's a difference. We just hear, not listen. If we listen, we learn, right? Okay, this is the 4 things. It's a very essential for communication, right? Okay. Here 2 kinds of listening, which is the situations based interactive listening and non-interactive listening. What is interactive and non-interactive listening? Say here interactive listening, which is a listener can listen, talk, giving suggestions, right? This is an interactive, right? We can discuss a face-to-face conversation, video calling, telephonic, right? That we can freely ask questions, giving suggestions, right? Making clarifications. These are all the things which is interactive listening, and compared to non-interactive, in non-interactive listening, the listeners non-reciprocal listening, right? Non-reciprocal listening, that the listener can't listen the speech and over the radio or telephonic. That's non-interactive, which is the listeners even cannot ask any questions, right? Cannot exchange their doubts and clarifications. If compared to interactive, in interactive we can clarify the doubts and asking question, right? And clarification is a very important. Here, these interactive listening, right? A listener must be a positive listeners, active listeners, right? If active only, we can ask questions, we can clarify doubts. See here, different type of audience may sit on positive and more active listener, right? And somewhat the 50%, he listen but not fully, right? Here two type of people asking questions. Ones who have listened everything and clarifies the doubt, and the one other, he listened 50% asking nonsense questions, right? Like every classes also it's happened. If you listen clearly, right, the doubts will never come, right? And the other person who did not listen a single word, I have no doubt, right? But other will have doubt, the 50% of listeners. Okay, the next thing is LSRW, the four things, and four things I can say a few things, right? A good listener, will be a good speaker. A good listener will be a good speaker. A good speaker will be a good reader. A good reader will be a good writer. A good writer will be you and me if we follow these rules, right? And active listening, right? The full-fledged of listening, right? It give us more information and more things, more knowledge, right? Okay, inshallah we'll see next classes, right? And regarding communication, right, we must be touch in listening. If we fail to listen, we fail to speak. If we fail to speak, we fail to write. If we fail to write, we fail to. If we fail to read, we are failed to write. Right? Because see, what is sir? You said listening and speaking. If we listen, we can speak. What we have acquired, right? What we have get, we can speak it out. And reading, if we read, open the book, if we read, it helps to write. We will never do mistake in words. Most of the people will write. We have a spelling mistake. Why spelling mistake? Because we are failed to read. If we read, open your book and look at the book and we do this practice, I will challenge no one make mistakes in writing. Right? That is the chain link between the four pillars. Right? Okay. We will see next class. Okay. And here in communicative, English for communication, which is very important for all. Right? Not only for English student, it helps all the students, right? And ask your friends to watch this video and comment, right? If you want any change, any disturbance or anything which is you are not understand, you can ask, you can comment freely, okay? And ask your classmates, batchmates, everyone to go for Google Classroom and check it out. You have to give your attendance in Google Classroom, right? Please go to Google Classroom, click the each hour, 30 minutes hour, right? Click there and send your register number, name, and you may receive mails also, right? You have to click the presence there, right? Please check it out and clarifies all the doubts. If you have any doubt, you can call me, or through WhatsApp you can text. In Google Classroom also you can comment and you can ask everything, okay, regarding our papers, right? Thank you. We'll see next class.